Welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Dina Delisa Gonzer, and our next guest has quite the resume, from global traveler to entrepreneur, and now children's author. Patrick Noel Daly has created several products, recognized as 30 under 30 entrepreneurs in Ireland, and just launched his second book, first children's book, Noly. He's here now to tell us all about his latest book. Welcome, Patrick.
Hey Dina, thank you. It's great to chat with you today.
Oh, we're so happy to have you. And we need to know, how did you get from Ireland to New Jersey?
Wow, it's a long story, but I'll try and make it as brief as I can. I left Ireland in 2018 and I wanted to kind of go travel and see the world. I had previously been doing a lot of travel, but it was all kind of work and business related. But then I said, you know what, it's time to see this place and maybe just enjoy it along the way. So I left Ireland, went traveling for a year or two, and then COVID came around and kind of clipped my wings a little bit. So I had to
Mm.
slow down, but I was in the let's say in the US side of the world, and I was actually down in Central America, and I saw there was a cruise going back to Boston. So I jumped on a cruise from Panama to Boston, and I said, I got a couple of friends down in New York. I'll go meet with them, go to an Irish pub, have a couple of pints of Guinness as you do at the weekend. And I got as far as New Jersey, and I found Hoboken, found New Jersey, met a great bunch of people, had that couple of pints of Guinness in Finnegan's pub in Hoboken, and that was my intro
Wow.
to New Jersey.
I mean, that sounds like a dream, just to be able to plane hop or just see a sign for, Boston, and let me just go here, let me just go there. That is amazing. And so, in addition to being a world traveler, you're also an entrepreneur. So, could you tell us a little bit about some of the businesses and the products that you've worked on?
Sure, yeah. It's been great. And, in terms of being involved in entrepreneurship, I didn't really realize I was an entrepreneur. I remember the first kind of signs of enjoying it so much was when I was 14 and I was working in a burger and fries food van on the beach in Southern Ireland where I come from. And that was my summer holiday. And I loved the idea of taking something and turning it into a kind of like a commercial win, and dealing with people every day as well. Some nice, happy people, some hangry people at 5 o'clock in the evening. But it was all great because it was people interaction. So that was the start. Later on, then I went into kind of developing a search engine for cars. I then went into the medical space and I developed a special mattress product for hospitals to
Wow.
prevent pressure ulcers. And about maybe 8 or 10 years ago, a spin out of that product. That product, by the way, was ranked number one in the country. We
Wow.
got built a team up to 50 people, myself from me to 50 people within a year. So we got nice accolades and recognition along the way, and a great bunch of people. Honestly, Dina, it's all about people. We can have the best products in the world, but if you don't have the right people,
For
life becomes
sure.
challenging.
For
That can be an
sure.
easy road, hard road.
I mean, and then do you sleep ever? I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe that
And
couple of pints of Guinness is my
I
sedative.
guess so. That's your secret. And so you go from what an amazing entrepreneurial background to writing a children's book. So how does that transition come about?
Yeah, I was looking at setting up entrepreneurship academies or ways to teach, train, mentor people. And I thought if I can take the experience that I've picked up over these years, particularly in the first 3 to 5 years of my entrepreneurship journey, I made so many mistakes. And I said, if I ever get to a stage where I've taken the foot off the gas as far as building these startups is
Mm,
concerned, then I should tell people about that. So I kind of got into entrepreneurship training and teaching. And then
hmm.
somebody just made a kind of a throwaway comment. They said, well, why don't you just write a children's book about that?
Mm.
And like that was, I'm going to say Wednesday during the day. And the thought just never left my head. I literally got up at 4 a.m. that morning and I wrote the text of the first book, and I had it finished by
Wow.
7. And I
Wow.
thought, this is designed to help the youngest of kids in schools to think, hey, I can be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
If I get an idea and if I make it work, then it's going to be great for me, for everyone around me, and just get that flow of thinking going. So that's the kind of general purpose of the children's books, but they're children's stories. So they
Hmm.
talk about this friendly little dinosaur named Noly, which, by the way, came from my name in the sibling home when I was growing up. I'm Patrick Noel Daly, but my
Okay.
parents and my siblings called me Noly. So that's where the dinosaur name, the little
I do. I love
story name.
that connection. I love the personal connection for sure. And now I have a little 6-year-old girl. What can I tell her about Noly?
So Noly is a helpful, interested and interesting little triceratops. And his story is that he sees things that need to be either fixed or helped.
Okay.
And he uses a kind, generous, but productive approach to kind of fixing things, you know. Um, the, very, very briefly in the story, in the first children's book, his, um, his dad gets injured and he jumps in to fix the problem, let's say,
Hmm.
and look after his family, which is fundamentally what we're all, as human beings, all need to be all about. Um, and it went from like just that complete seed, and it's now spinning out, and I'm already drafting the second book. But
Wow.
the first one's out, and I'd love for people to see that. And by the way, a part of the profits as well um, are going to children's charities. So I'm using that as a mechanism to help children's charities around this side of the world.
That is really wonderful. I love your story and how you really marry the idea of human connection with entrepreneurship. And not only are you writing a book to help little minds understand that, but you're also using it as an avenue to give back. Thank you so much for joining us today, Patrick. We are really excited about the release of Noly. There is more New Jersey Morning Show online. Watch on demand on our website, ONNJ.com, or on your Roku or Fire TV.